All right, great people of Africa, great people of Biafra. I just came across some people who are basically pro Israelite and then pro Americans because of the war that is actually ongoing in the Middle East. It has divided a lot of us. A lot of Africans has lost track of the bigger picture. But I want to bring you back to the memory lane. There are a lot of us who believe that Israel or America, who sponsor wars and exploit African resources, are genuinely coming to free us or grant us ownership of our resources from neo-colonial agenda they have established. Think again. I can understand that many of us have been blinded, by the passage in the Bible that mentioned Israel, yet we forgot that the modern state of Israel was created in 1948 after World War II. We continue to believe that this Israel is the same as the Israelite in the Bible story, but we do not follow the true history or understand the context of this history. Our mind have been diverted by religious narratives and false hopes. While the real game is played by those who manipulate history and religion for their own gain. The conflict over land and resources, such as in Palestine, are part of a larger geopolitical strategy that continues to influence our reality today. It is important that we must awaken to the fact that the real liberation does not come from blindly believing in narrative designed to serve the interest of the powerful people. Instead, we need to understand the history, recognize the motives behind the conflict. I used to align with the US and Israel because I love them. But when I went through the history, I realized that Iran and Palestine are among the few resilient nations resisting Western dominance. They are fighting for their freedom and territorial integrity. If I am not mistaken, some of us are doing the same. Therefore, aligning with the opposition is basically making mockery of that which we have stand for, to fight against inequality, to fight against dominance, and to fight against imperialist power. So when we engage in this alignment, we are actually losing the purpose of what we believe in. So why do we see them as villains fighting for their freedom whilst you see yourself as good guy battling against the same imperialist forces? The fact that we have a troubled history with certain Muslims in Nigeria or across the Sahel region should not take or make us view other freedom fighters as a villain just because of religion. Meanwhile, those that we have issues with are the ones who are sponsored by the same dominant power, which is part of the strategic means to exert control over our lives and our resources. For fellow Biafrans, in case you have forgotten, let me take you down to the memory lane. Nigeria did the same thing to us. What Israel is doing to Palestine, we actually experienced it firsthand in 1967. Yet the media labeled us as aggressors. Don't you see the same pattern happening in the Middle East? Perhaps you don't, just because you perceive them being a Muslim. Their lives does not matter. Therefore, it is hypocritical of you to chant and support Ibrahim Traore because he is a Muslim who is trying to fight the same forces against his country. I, as an African and as a Biafran, knowing exactly what Biafran has went through in the hand of Nigeria that is sponsored by the same, Europeans, I can categorically tell you that I am indeed tired of the Western domination that allows them to create propaganda in order to justify their actions The last time I checked, America has more than 4,000 nuclear warheads, and Israel has more than 90 nuclear warheads, if not 400 of them. Yet they want to dictate for Iran and countries who are actually supposed to have nuclear warhead and who is not supposed to have nuclear warheads. Because if, in my opinion, if America does not have nuclear warhead, Israel does not have nuclear warhead, I don't believe that nations like Iran will be scared that they might be sent into extinction, maybe when they are threatened and they respond to the aggression of Israel or the United States. So in this regard, you ask yourself a question: who determines which nation is good and which nation is evil? Because America has invaded Iraq for no good justifiable reason, and Libya causing chaos and instability, while Iran has never invaded another nation or sought to cause harm to others. Iran, which has never caused such chaos, is often portrayed as the villain, while Israel, which invade at will and act with impunity, just like what we have seen in Palestine, is protected and defended by the powerful nations like Europe and America. We will never have true freedom as long as the West refuses to relinquish their control over the world. Recently, you saw how they tried to push propaganda against Burkina Faso, attempting to invade and overthrow their revolutionary leader, who is actually making sure that everything that they own belong to the people of Burkina Faso and gain back their territorial integrity and control over their mineral resources in order to build their country. But the plan did not work because a lot of Africans has woken up to the truth and understand exactly how the imperialist power operates. In my honest opinion, I love Israel, I love Americans and Europeans, but the control they exert over the world must be relinquished one way or another, because true freedom can only be achieved the day they stop manipulating and dominating other nations. We should not forget the warmongers, those who profit from conflict, have built their bunkers and keep building them for themselves and their rich friends, shielding themselves from the chaos they create. Meanwhile, we, the ordinary people, are used as pawn, encouraged to celebrate and advertise their evil wars as if violence is something to be glorified. It's unjustifiable. These wars serve only the interest of the powerful, while the innocent bear the cost. It is a grave injustice that the perpetrators of destruction hide behind walls of privilege, while the world suffer from their greed and brutality. We must see through their lies, reject their violence, and demand a just and peaceful world, one where human lives are valued above the ambitions of warlords and profiteers. Because a lot of you are actually chanting behind the Israel and America just because of what you have listened to in the mainstream, how they have portrayed them as the good guy and portrayed the other ones as the bad guy. Hear it, your economy is going to suffer the consequences of this war, as Iran is one of the highest oil producing nations. Therefore, the price of oil is going to go high, and you are going to pay for it and bear the brand, and your resources is being used to promote this war one way or the other.